Continuing on our mixed martial arts theme for fighting from the close guard. Once again, we're dealing with a striking opponent in our close guard. I got my knees in good position. He's starting to strike. As he strikes, I pull my knees forward and I swing my arms over top, blocking the arm and clearing it for an overhook. Control his head, move my hips to the side and cross my feet. He decides to continue to strike. I'm going to block, put my foot on his hip, establish control here, controlling his wrist, controlling with my left overhook. Now from here, I'm going to maintain this left overhook. And now we're dealing with a partner. He's not trying to stay here where I could go for the triangle choke, and he's not trying to drive forward where I'd kick him away and create space. This time he's kind of posturing. He's sitting back. He's keeping his head up. Now there are things I could possibly do from here. I could maybe go for a triangle choke, but the major problem is that he's already postured. Maybe I'd get it, maybe I wouldn't, but when you're dealing with someone that's striking or someone that's really slippery, this can be kind of one of those hairy situations where it's really tricky to actually follow through and finish it. So I'm going to opt to try and get a sweep instead. So when I'm here, he's postured, I'm going to keep space, trying to maintain space between him and me, and then I'm going to hook, getting my right hook underneath his thigh. I put my left hook underneath his thigh, and then I'm going to start to sit up, and then as I sit up, I'm going to pummel in, trying to get my right underhook, while maintaining control of his right arm with my left arm, hugging his back. Now from here, I'm ideally going to try and get my hips to one side. Here he has a couple choices. We're going to break him down into two major topics. Either he pushes or he pulls. If he pushes, as he pushes, I'm going to tuck my left foot in, fall down onto my left shoulder, lift, put my foot over top to the other knee, put my foot out, and then sit down, putting my hip to the floor, kicking through into a modified scarf hold. So this side. So once again, I get all the way into here. Option one, he drives, I fall to my side, I tuck my foot, elevate, putting my foot on his other thigh, getting my underhook, and kicking through. Option two, he's decided to disengage from me a little bit, which often happens, especially in mixed martial arts, because he doesn't have to pass the guard. He could just try and stay in my guard and pepper me with strikes. So he might just posture to avoid the sweep. So if he's sitting back, making himself very heavy, hard to sweep, from here I can use my hand to come up. I'm going to go onto my knee, I'll keep my head in position and I'll start to cup this knee. I'll drive through and bring my knee over top, start to putting weight on him, and if that arm's still there, I'll grab at his elbow or his wrist to break it down. As I break it down, I'll burn him down and start to go into my scarf hold. Let's do that again. So I get to here, he's sitting back, he's avoiding that back sweep. So I come up and I start to cup his knee to bring him down. Then from here I'll grab his arm or his wrist and start to bring that arm in. Try not to hurt their elbow when you're practicing. And then from here I'll start to work into my modified scarf hold. Then finally, option three. As I get up, I've gotten up and out of his top position too many times. I get up to here, and he doesn't like it. He wants to stay on top. He wants to beat me up. So he decides he's going to take me down again. So he grabs my knee and starts to drive through. Go back. So I'm still going to try and keep my underhook with my right arm, keeping my head underneath his jaw, trying to keep well postured. As soon as that hand grabs my knee, I'm going to grab his tricep. And then as he commits his drive, I pull that in and then elevate and put my foot across. Look for my underhook, plant my foot, and kick through. Let's do it again from the whole thing. All the way over here. So we're here, he's punching, I swim inside, I get control of his head, move my hips to the side. He's punching with his other arm, I block, get my knee on his bicep. Then from here I'm going to create space, I hook my feet inside his knees, and look for my underhook. From here I'm going to try and create an angle. Option one, he drives, so I do my elevator sweep. Option two, he pulls back. As he's pulling back, I'm going to try and follow him, keeping my head up, pulling his back in, grabbing that knee and driving my knee across, and then grabbing his elbow and taking him down. Finishing off in modified scarf hold. And then option three, I get to here, once again, I hook my feet in, pummel up, keeping my underhook. He's posturing back, I get up. He doesn't like this, so he grabs my knee, and as he grabs my knee, and drives. I take the elevator sweep, finishing it off with a modified scarf hold once again. So, switching between getting to your knees or your feet and guard attacks can be a very good combination, because often they're either pulling away or pushing into you if you break it down into a major generalization. But if you start to follow them in either direction, you start to force them to react in either direction. You try and sweep them, they pull back, you go to your knees. You try to go to their knees, they drive forward, you sweep them. And that way you get a larger reaction. So when you're dealing with someone that's very athletic with very good balance, you can force them to commit more. And when they commit more, each of your attacks gets easier. So try following them, going back and forth, and I'm sure you'll have some success with this combination.